Hi guys, it's Paper Milkshake here and welcome back to my channel. I am so super excited about this video. I'm going to be sharing with you my challenge, my latest challenge with Alisha, which was my top 10 favorite patterned paper challenge. And this was such a brilliant idea, and it was both very fun and very difficult. And the reason why it was difficult was it took me ages and ages to select my 10 favorite, top 10 favorite pattern paper. It was so hard. It took me a couple of nights actually to go from 30 favorite papers to 20 to 10. It really did take a while. So this challenge was to select our top 10 favorite papers and then turn them into library pocket cards, or library pockets with inserts. And Alisha and I agreed that for each of the library pockets we would also make a coordinating sequin mix, which was a lot of fun. So what I'm going to do is show you my 10 favorite pattern paper and the library card that I made with it. Some of these are from older collections, and I'm not sure whether you're able to get some of these papers anymore. I am certainly running low on a few of these, but I reckon if you sort of look on Instagram or eBay, or keep an eye out for some accounts that are destashing perhaps old Maggie Holmes papers or products, you may still be able to find some on the internet. So Alisha and I also decided to play a bit of a guessing game of how many papers we have chosen in common. And so out of the 10 that I've chosen, and out of the 10 she's chosen, which we don't know about at the time of this challenge, we would guess how many papers we have in common, either none, 1, 2, 3, whatever it may be. So I'm going to guess that Alisha and I have one favorite paper in common, and that's it. It's like a huge resource of papers to choose from. So I think the chances of our actually picking a common set of papers is highly unlikely. But it is possible, given that we both have very similar tastes and we both have very similar likes and dislikes. So you never know. Once you've watched both videos, we will obviously find out what we may have chosen in common, if any at all. So let's jump straight into it. So the first paper I have chosen, which you guys are looking at here, is from an old Maggie Holmes collection called Gather. And this paper is called Melody. And I think I have maybe 2 or 3 sheets left in my stash. This is one of the 3, and it's just a really beautiful sheet music inspired paper in a really beautiful blue color. I've always wondered whether I should put this on my piano and actually play out the tune. I haven't done that yet, but I'd be interested to see if this is based on like an old song or whatever. But yeah, I really like this paper. I like the B-side as well. And the reason I like the B-side is it's such a contrast to the sheet music, like completely different color palette. You've got your yellow, like bright yellow, versus this kind of almost vintagey blue and white paper, which is really unusual. So out of that pattern paper, I made this little pocket, library pocket here. So all my library pockets were made using one sheet of paper cut basically into quarters, and you just need one strip of paper with like a scoreboard to make your folds. And then I punched out like a little half moon or a little half semicircle here, stitched the pocket, and on some of these I sort of tried to do some fancy stitches and then kind of changed my mind on some other ones because I didn't like the look of them. And whilst I like the B-side on this paper, I don't love it. So what I decided to do was actually sew the front of the pocket and the back of the pocket with the same pattern paper. So you're gonna have to like sandwich them together when you sew your pocket so that you have the A side on every face. And then I don't really have any gathered chipboards anymore, so I had to reach into my All Heart chipboards and found this blue, which I thought coordinated really well. And because there's some pink elements in this, the pink flag just worked for this, so that's what I went for. And then I have some Willow Lane puffy stickers that I used for the front there. So then on the inside, I will show you what I've got. So I did kind of sew like a little piece of that sort of speckled tulle that I love onto each of these library pockets. Plus I have one cut apart sheet from Garden Party that is basically a whole bunch of like library cards. So I just backed them onto some cardstock and stapled a couple of tickets inside. So this, I guess the inserts that I use are not part of the favorite pattern papers challenge, because one of the rules that Alicia and I had for this collab was we're not allowed to choose a cut apart as one of our top 10 favorites. Okay, so when we made our library pockets, none of these library pockets are made out of cut apart. So I just used the cut apart for the inserts, which isn't really part of the challenge. You can put whatever you want inside the inserts. The only requirement was that we create a matching sequin mix, which is what you see here in this glassine envelope. I chose some blue sequins to go with the paper, some mints, some pinks, and some yellows. So I really liked that sequin mix. I think that turned out really, really cute. So that is the first one. It's a pretty snug fit in there. I might just move this aside so you can see all the library pockets laid out here. And by the way, these are not in order of most favorite to least favorite. It's just whatever order. Yeah, it's just a random mix of papers that make it to my top 10, equally top 10, but this one I absolutely adore. So this one is from Market Square. Market Square is one of those really polarizing collections that I kind of don't love it, like love it, but the pattern papers are incredible. So it's definitely a collection where the pattern papers appeal to me more than, say, their chipboards or their puffy stickers or their cardstock stickers. And I, as you guys know, if you've been following my channel for a while, I love anything that's brown and pink. So this brown and pink was a favorite of mine, which is why I've selected for this challenge. And this one is called Up and Away. I think the intent is that this is the A side and the brown spotted polka dot paper is kind of like the B side, but I chose it for this side. This is the side that I love. Yeah, this is nice, but it's not like my favorite. So that's the side that I chose. And the pocket is this one here. It's so cute. And I grabbed a Willow Lane puffy sticker which said hello and popped it just at the top of the front here. And this is an all heart chipboard, one of those glitter, champagne glitter stars. That's the pocket on its own. And these make really cute like envelopes to send little note cards to your pen pals. Super cute. You can even use it as a holder, like an envelope for a birthday message even. And they're really sturdy because they've got 3 layers at that point. And it just has this little library card insert, which again I put on cardstock and stuck 2 little cut aparts on it. Colors coordinate really well. And for the sequin mix, I have some like dusty pink matte sequins. I've got some matte gold sequins and just an array of pink sequins in there as well. So it coordinates really, really nicely. I just love the colors on this pattern paper. So definitely my top 10, and I am going to be ordering a few more of this paper. You can use that with quite a few collections actually. I can see this collection or this paper working with Market Square, Garden Party. You could use it with Marigold. You could use it with Carousel even. Very, very versatile paper. Now, this one I'm absolutely devastated about because I actually don't have this one anymore. This is my very last sheet. And I must have at some point cut off the little strip which identifies the name of the paper. So I don't actually know the name of it, but it is from the Carousel collection. And I do still have some Carousel 12 by 12 pads, but as you guys know, they are only single-sided and the quality of the paper is not as good as these sort of single sheets. So I have officially dipped into my very last piece of paper there, and I think out of the whole Carousel collection, this is by far my favorite pattern paper. I just love the geometrical design of it. I love that it's mostly green with like some pink and black and white in it. I just think it works really, really well, and I've made so many projects in the past with this paper. I'm really, really in love with it, and yeah, sad to see it go. Sad to have used my last paper. But what I did here was I just had this label in my stash, and the colors, that pink on the border just coordinated perfectly with the pink on this paper. So I just made a little cluster at the front and stuck the XO from All Heart. Clearly the All Heart chipboards was within reach and I used it a lot on these projects. So just look at that, it's like so cute. Pretty hard not to love this paper. I really do like it a lot. And green is not a color I often craft with, but I do love this really sharp emerald green, and I definitely love it when I see it in Maggie Holmes collections. So these cut aparts are from Market Square, and that green just coordinates perfectly. Then of course I've made a sequin mix with some green, with a pop of green in it, and some pinks and whites. Probably I could have added some black, just a tiny bit of black to go with the spots, but whatever, this is fine. It's just so pretty. And you know, library pockets are really easy to make, guys. They're just super easy to glue together, even if you don't have a sewing machine. Like, you don't have to do stitching at all. You can just use glue or double-sided sticky tape. So my fourth pattern paper is probably of no surprise to you guys. It is from All Heart, and I have quite a few of these left because I love it so much, and everything about this paper just represents me, and what I love about crafting it is iridescent. So it's got that hollow design, it's got hearts on it, it's a repeated pattern, and it's a good quality paper, and the B-side's pretty cool too. So this one is called, well, it doesn't really have a name except it says All Heart foil on cardstock, so it's just, I guess, one of their specialty papers. Yeah, look, I don't know if you can buy this anymore. I think Spotlight, where Alisha works now, still carries it, I think. I'm not sure, but check your local craft store, have a look online. You might even be able to get it from the Crate Paper, the American Crafts website, perhaps. So for this one, I made a very, very cute hollow and white library pocket. And keeping to theme, I have used an All Heart chipboard. I sewed down a beautiful hollow star sequin on the front. The key to this, if you're going to sew sequins down, make sure you sew it onto the paper before you put together the actual library pocket. Otherwise you won't be able to, you'll sew right through this and then you'll stick down the pocket and then the pocket won't open properly anymore. So just measure everything up beforehand. Do your sort of sewing first before you put together the entire pocket. And look, it's so pretty on its own. Just so cute. I love it. I love it a lot. And then I stuck with a pretty sort of pastel palette for the sequin. And then I threw some like hollow stars in there. And sorry, I'm not going to open these glassine packets because I'm just really worried about like tearing it and ruining it on film. I kind of want my pen pal to be able to open them intact. And yeah, that's just like a really pretty combo. And I think if I had my way again, I probably wouldn't have gone with a darker pink here, but it doesn't really matter. I just used my pink and shoes to put some like edges on that to give it like that ticket appeal. So you can put your sequin packet that way or that way. It doesn't really matter. If I put it in that way, you'll get to see how it looks. This is popped into the pocket. It's pretty cute as well. It kind of just looks like that. This is probably hands down another favorite pattern paper of all time for me. Yeah, it's really interesting because I didn't actually reach for a lot of pink papers in my top 10, which came as a surprise for me. I thought I would have at least 5 or 6 papers that were pink, but I seem to have gravitated towards the greens, which is so unusual for me, but I love everything about this paper. The color of green, the geometric design, and then sort of offset with that beautiful like black floral. I love this paper. Flourish was a collection I really despised when it first came out. And then over the years, I have just fallen in love with it and wish I bought more of it. Flourish papers are still available to purchase. Paper pads still available to purchase at Spotlight. But single sheets are a bit harder to find. This one's called Nostalgic. And on the other side is this pretty generic paper. So again, this favorite paper pattern challenge is just for the one side. And I just, oh God, I just really, really, really love this paper. Nostalgic. And so I don't think I have any Flourish puffy stickers left. In fact, I don't even think I've got any chipboards, so I had to look a bit outside the square here and use some Willow Lane puffy stickers, which I quite often mix Flourish with Willow Lane. I find the colors actually coordinate with each other quite well. And here is that the library card itself with some stickers on the front. And for this mix, I wanted to put some dark green as well as light green in here. I didn't really want to use black, even though this is black. I just wanted to use a dark green just to give it a little bit more, I don't know, life, I guess. And I'm really glad I did it because I think the sequins and the pattern paper just look really good together. And you guys are probably wondering why I didn't put a heck of a lot of sequins in here. Just as a personal preference, I don't like to put heaps and heaps of sequin fillings in my shaker pockets or sequin pouches. I just don't like the bulk. I like to keep them pretty sort of thin and fine. So that's why in most of my projects you'll find I don't fill pouches to the max. Just a personal preference. So there it is. There's that one. I fell in love with this paper the moment I saw it, but struggled to sort of think of what I could make with it. And I just really, really, really like this. Even if it's just not crafting with it, I just love looking at it. And I think it's one of the more unusual papers that Maggie Holmes has come out with. And I'd like to see her make more pattern papers like this, which is kind of like a patchwork of different colors and patterns and a mixture of vintage and photographs and, you know, library papers or, you know, receipts. I just really like it. I just think it's so unusual and so pretty. So it's from Market Square and it's called a Memoir. And the other side is pretty generic, just like a repeated heart, black and white heart pattern, which contrasts quite well if I fold it over like so. And yeah, I mean, you can make a whole ton of projects. You can turn this into a cut apart if you really wanted to, which I don't recommend because you don't get the full sort of array of patchwork that you see here if you were to cut them out. So I definitely don't treat that as, I don't treat it as a cut apart. I treat it as a pattern paper. And I just made this little one here and added some old Felicity Jane Studio puffy stickers I had. And yeah, just look how pretty it is. And contrast that with, say, this pattern paper where it's all just a pretty like repeated design. You've got a kind of multicolored effect there, and I really, really like it. Really like how this one showed up. That's the back. Super cute pocket. The other thing you could do with library cards is if you're a bit of a book lover like I am, you could insert one of these inside the front of your book and write little book reviews and tuck it into your, you know, book, or this book belongs to, or write a little, you know, comment that you noted down when you were reading the book and what excited you. Great little idea, that one. And I probably missed the mark, I think, with the sequins. I think I went with something a little bit more pastel, whereas the colors on this is a little bit more of an autumn palette. But I generally don't like autumn palettes, which is why I'm quite surprised that I gravitated towards this paper. But I really, really do love it. So there you go. And I really like the effect of the sequins showing through the glassine paper. I really like that effect. So that's this one, and that's my bay. So that's 6 papers down, 4 to go. And I have another carousel paper. I again immediately fell in love with this paper when I saw it come out with carousel. This one is called Uplifting. And I think I just really like the sharp yellow of this paper. I love that it's not an unusual pattern, but just really sort of geometric. Again, I'm definitely gravitating towards geometric kind of designs, but the yellow really appealed to me. I find it's a very universal yellow that you can use in all your crafting, and it just makes any other color you use with it pop. See this very like subdued green color from Willow Lane? It just looks so good with the yellow. Yeah, and this yellow goes particularly well with pink, various shades of pink. And there's the coordinating sequins mix. Pink and yellow just look so cute together. So yes, so I had to include this paper in my top 10. Love it. And then I have 2 pattern papers from probably one of my favorite Maggie Holmes collections so far, and that's Marigold. I really love Marigold. I don't think I quite have enough of it. I have a lot of All Heart, which is my favorite crate paper collection, but I would say out of Maggie Holmes collection, Marigold probably sits at number 1 on my list. And this one's called Sweet Sunshine, and pretty much anything that's gingham will likely appeal to me, but when you make gingham out of brown and pink, it like basically ticks all the boxes. So that's why I chose this, and you can see that the B side is just this blue floral paper. I don't really care for it, but this side I absolutely love. And I think when I first bought the Marigold collection, the very first project I made was out of this paper. Yeah, I don't know if there's much more to say other than I really, really like it. Excuse me. Pardon me. And just look at it. You can just make so many things with it. I took this chipboard, an old chipboard that I had from the, I don't know what it's called, it's not Cute Girl. One of Create Paper's baby collections. Yeah, don't love it. Probably could have used a different chipboard, but I'm okay with it. I can live with it. A bit of a close up there. The pocket on its own is so pretty. Really cute pinks and browns. And I probably could have added some matte gold sequins in here, but I didn't. And that's the library card there. Okay. And the second Marigold paper that I've chosen in my top 10 is this one here. I just think that the shade of pink used in Marigold is just the most perfect pink I could craft with. It's my favorite shade of pink. It's kind of like a vintage bubblegum color. I don't know if that's the best way to describe it. So it's not like a super fluoro pink. So it's not like a Barbie pink, but it's also like slightly vintage, and I just think it's so pretty. It's the most perfect shade of pink. And this one is the B side. So the A side is over here, and this paper is called High Note. So when I run out of the Gather paper, the blue and white one with the music notes on it, I could just reach for this one. But this is not why I chose it. I chose it for this side. It's just the most perfect pink. And here is the pocket that I made. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I feel like I'm missing a pocket somewhere. I'm gonna have to have a look for it. Anyway, so that's the pocket here. I just think it's so pretty, and I wrote love on it, or stuck down some puffy stickers which says love. There's the coordinating sequins, and this little pocket, library card which says bloom. Oh, just so cute. Just a really pretty, very, very pretty paper. And now I need to go for a merry little hunt to work out where my 10th card is. Just don't know where I put it. Okay, I found the last library card, and this one is an interesting choice for my 10th favorite. It's from Sweet Story, which is a collection I really like, but I wouldn't say I'm in love with. It's a paper called Sparkle. And the reason I don't love Sweet Story is I think it tried to be a little bit like Carousel, but didn't quite get there. I still think Carousel I like a little bit more than Sweet Story. Plus it uses some colors that I don't love. Like this is kind of like a vintage pink, which is, if I kind of compare to that, it doesn't, I don't know what it is, but this is not a pink that I usually go for. It's more an autumn or fall pink, as you guys would call it in the States. So I'm denied about this paper a bit, but it's one of those papers where on face value you go, meh, don't really love it, but when you make projects out of it, it's stunning. So that's why I chose it. It's called Sparkle. And yeah, I had to include it in my top 10 because I've used it a few times and I really, really like it. So let me show you the little library pocket just to prove my point. It's really, really pretty. It's so cute. It's such a nice like mint like shade of mint. Kind of goes with my jumper actually. And I wrote Bay on this one as well. Stuck some cute little Willow Lane puffy stickers, and here is the coordinating sequin mix and that little admit one ticket, which just, yeah, matches it really, really well. And this pattern paper just goes with any shades of pink. It'll really make your pink embellishment pop. So recommend playing with that if you're a bit lukewarm about it. It is a really, really pretty paper. So that, guys, makes up my top 10. Now, I wanted to finish this video off with the close seconds. Because I struggled so much with choosing with my top 10, I just absolutely can't resist and end this video without first sharing with you, you know, the papers that really made it to my top 10, but I didn't use for this challenge for a few reasons. Such as in the case of this one, Chasing Dreams, I only have one sheet left, and I just didn't have the heart to cut it up and use it. This easily goes inside my top 10, definitely one of my top 10 favorite papers, but I can't use it. It's my last one. Like, what does one do when they only have one of their favorite paper? But hoard it forever and ever and never use it. So Chasing Dreams Graceful, it's called. It's just so pretty, and I'm so sad that I've only got one left. And that the same goes for this one. This paper, not so much. I do like this, but I've still got a few sheets of that left in my paper pads. This one, for some random reason, does not come in the 12 by 12 paper pad, Carousel 12 by 12 paper pad, and happens to be one that I really like. So I do have only one sheet. I do only have one sheet left of this, hence why I haven't used it. And this one is called Sprinkles, the B-side of this one there. So bye-bye, can't use you. Love you, but can't use you. Here is another one where I've only got one left and couldn't use. It's another gingham number, and it's from Gather, and it's called You Plus Me. Love the blue, love the white, love the gingham, love everything about it. Again, it's just one of those things that I'm going to have to stare at forever and never use because I've only got one left. Here is another one that I've only got one left of, again from Gather, and it's called Beautiful. So Gather definitely was a collection that made a lot of beautiful, beautiful pattern paper. Just a really nice production. It's called Beautiful, and I actually like the B-side of that as well. So that's 4 papers that I showed you guys that are no longer, so they're discontinued and I can no longer use. And it's very, very sad. Okay, so just wanted to show you the other sort of close runner-ups. And it may be no surprise to you that 3 of them are from All Heart. So there's this one from All Heart, which is called Stardust. And that's a beautiful B-side as well. And I do have ample supplies of that left, but it just didn't quite make it into the top 10. This one's really pretty as well. You can use it as a whole sheet or use it, you know, cut apart the little shapes and use them. A very pretty pattern paper called Wild from All Heart. And this is like the quintessential you know, All Heart pattern paper with all our favorite icons from All Heart, and it's called Cute Stuff, and it's got that beautiful pink and red stars on the other side. And then very lastly, this one from Garden Party, and it's called, what is it called? Wildflower. I just really like the colors and the florals and everything about it. So that's it, guys. That's my top 10 favorite paper pattern paper challenge with Alisha, and the library pockets that I made with those pattern paper. I hope you liked this little project share, and I am so excited about the next challenge I'm doing with Alisha, and we do have a very special guest joining us for it. I cannot wait to reveal to you guys our next challenge and share with you the projects that I make. So thank you all for watching and staying with me this far. I cannot wait to check out Alisha's library pockets. I'm sure they're going to be amazing as always. She's just got really good taste, and I love all her projects. And I know that library pockets are one of her like fortes. She's just really, really creative with them. So be sure to go and support her channel in the link below. I will see you guys next time. Bye.